Welcome back everyone, this is Vrishali and you are watching Power Electronics Practical Sessions. So today we are going to learn three-phase inverter. What is basically inverter means? Inverter is nothing but which converts DC into AC. So in this case, if you see this diagram, this is a three-phase inverter and at input side you will find EDC. This is a DC source and at output side there will be a three-phase AC load. So here you will get the AC voltage at output. So basically this circuit consists of 6 switches which are placed in this way: D1, D3, D5, that is the negative group or you can say upper group, and D4, D6 and D2, this is the lower group. So in this, if you have gone through the theory video, you will come to know that at a time 3 devices or 3 switches will conduct. So let us try to simulate it in MATLAB. So open new Simulink model. So this is a MATLAB window and I have opened the new Simulink model. Now let us take the components which are required. So we need 6 switches. So these are the MOSFETs. So let us take MOSFET. Then to trigger these MOSFETs we need a pulse generator. So we will add that also. To observe the output we need scope. So let us add scope 2. Then the power GUI block to set the different parameters, and our load, that will be the RLC branch. So let us add that too. And at input side we will have a DC source voltage. So let us search that. So this is your DC voltage source. Let us add it too. And to observe the waveforms we need a voltage measurement block. So let us add that too. So in this way we have taken all the parameters. Now if you need a duplicate of that, you can always copy and paste it. So what I will do, I will place this power GUI block here. Scope will be at output side. This is the RLC branch, pulse generator and MOSFET. Now if you refer your diagram, so in that 6 switches are there. So we need 6 MOSFETs. So let us copy this and paste it over here. So these are my 6 MOSFETs. Now we will rotate them as we want. So to rotate any component you can use Ctrl R, that is the shortcut for that. So let us rotate it. Now if you zoom it little bit, then you will come to know that, so this is your drain, this is source and this is gate. So one more terminal is there. Using this you can observe the output. So if you don't want this, you can double click on that and show measurement port. So that M stands for measurement, you can always turn it off. So if I apply, then see that 4th terminal has gone now. So you can observe the waveform, output waveform only for the last MOSFET. Rest 5 MOSFET you can turn off that. So let us turn it off first, all the measurement ports, because we don't need them. So to reduce the confusion you can always hide that measurement port. And we will keep this measurement port for last MOSFET. So let us rotate by using Ctrl R. Okay, so in this way we have taken all 6 MOSFETs and in this way we have placed them accordingly. Now what is the next job? So if you refer the diagram, we have to connect the DC voltage source, which is the input of it. The positive terminal will be connected to the all drains of upper group, and the negative terminal will be connected to the sources of lower group. So before that, let us rename it according to this diagram. So upper group MOSFET will be my M1, all the odd terms M3, M4, so sorry, M5, and this will be your M4, M6, and the last one is your M2, and this will be your DC source, that is the input source. Now let us connect all the drains of MOSFET to each other in this way. So this drain also will be connected to this, and positive the terminal of DC source will be connected to the drains. Now let us connect all the sources, and now negative terminal of your DC source will be connected to this. So in this way we have done the circuit connection. Now the source of upper group will be connected to the drain of lower group in this way. Then the next part is your load. So here we are going to consider R load. So I am changing it, the branch type, as R. Let us take 5 ohm resistance. Click on apply. So this will be your R1, and we want 3-phase load. So I am taking 3 resistors with the star connection. So this will be my R2 and this one will be my R3. Now let us connect it. So this first resistor will be connected to the first branch. The second resistor will be connected to the second branch, and the third will be connected to third branch in this way. Now to make a star connection, what we have to do? We have to connect the 3 terminals of this parallel R1, R2, R3 with each other. So this will make your star connection. Now till here we have done the input, output and the circuit diagram. Now to trigger these MOSFETs we need pulse generator. So again there are 6 MOSFETs, 6 switches, so we need 6 pulse generators. First I will rename this so it will be easier whenever I will copy. So this is my PG1, pulse generator 1 for first MOSFET. Now copy this. This is PG2 for second MOSFET. Copy PG3 for third MOSFET, PG4 for fourth MOSFET, PG5 here upper group, and last one is PG6. So we have taken all 6 pulse generators. Here is your power GUI block. Now let us connect. So MOSFET will be triggered at the gate terminal. So let us connect all the pulse generator to the gate terminal of your MOSFET in this way. So first I will show you all the circuit connections, then we will set up certain blocks, and finally we will see the output. Now the voltage measurement block. So to observe the output voltage waveforms we will use this voltage measurement block. So this will be my load voltage, you can say. So I am connecting this voltage measurement block across the output, So let us connect it over here. One terminal will be here, the another terminal will be here. So this will be my load voltage, or you can say output voltage. And we will take one more voltage measurement block to observe the waveforms. Okay, so in this way I have taken the another load voltage, and now to observe the waveform on scope I have only one input port. So what I will do, I will double click on that. So if you are using the latest version, you can simply right click on that, and in signals and ports you will find the number of ports. So you can easily change the number of input ports of this scope, but I am using the older version. So what I need to do, I need to double click on that, so this window will come, and here in parameters, if you click over there, here you can change the number of axes. So I will take it as a 3 and click on apply. So here you will get 3 input ports for this scope. Now click on apply and OK. So now I have 3 input scopes. So the first, this MOSFET output I will connect over here. Then this output voltage I will connect to the second input, and this one will be my third input. So in this way we are done with our circuit connection. Now the last part is remaining, that is the triggering of MOSFETs. So let us consider the first case, that is your first pulse generator. So your amplitude will be, let us take 10, or let it be 1. Period is your 0.02, that is a 20 millisecond. How it has been calculated, the Indian frequency is 50 Hertz. So frequency, using frequency, T is equal to 1 upon F. So 1 upon 50 will be your 0.020. So that will be your period. Then the pulse width, let us take 50, and phase delay. So for the first MOSFET, let it be 0 degree. So if we start at 0 degree, each MOSFET having a phase shift of 60 degree, right? So for the second pulse generator, so this one is your second pulse generator for second MOSFET. So let us change this 0.020. Pulse width is our 50 degree. And now in case of second MOSFET, how to calculate phase delay we have seen in previous videos. So 0.020, that is your period, into theta plus alpha. So here our alpha is 0 degree, so theta will be first 60 degree. So that will be your phase delay, 60 divided by 360. Click on apply and OK. So this is for your second pulse generator. Now the third pulse generator. So in that case again there will be a phase shift of, or phase difference of 120 degree. So let us double click on that. Amplitude will be 1, period is 0.020, pulse width is your 50, and now here it will be 0.020 into 60 plus 60, that will be 120 divided by 360. Click on apply. Then first, second, third, and now we will trigger the fourth switch, that is our MOSFET. So let us change the period 0.020, pulse width will be 0.50, that is, and here previously it was 120, so now it will be 180. So 120 plus 60 degree, that will be 180 degree. Click on OK. Then after fourth, the fifth pulse generator, amplitude is 1, period is 0.020, pulse width is 50, and phase delay will be 180 plus 60, that will be 240. Click on apply. OK. And now the last one, that is the sixth pulse generator. So again we will keep the same parameters, that is 0.020 period, pulse width is 50 degree, and here 240 plus 60, that will be your 300. So in this way, by introducing 60 degree phase shift in each, or you can say phase difference in each MOSFET, we have set all the parameters. So now in this way all the setup has been done. Now we will save this project. You can give any random name. I will give 812. So I have saved this project, and now I will click on run. So our code is getting compiled, and once it is done, you can double click on scope to observe the waveform. So click on this auto scale, and using this horizontal zoom, you can zoom it little bit. So these are the quasi-square waves as we have studied in theory part for 3-phase voltage inverter of a 180 degree mode. So see, this is a proper output. So I hope you have understood this 3-phase inverter, and in theory we have already learned how it works. So thank you. Stay home, stay safe, and happy e-learning.